So today we're starting a new unit on a completely different topic, and this topic is economics. This is actually my favorite unit by far of the entire year because economics, I think, is like the coolest subject possible. It's what I studied in college. It's what my dad does. It's what my brother's studying in college now. So it's something that I have a real connection to. So economics is the study of two things. It's the study of wants and needs, and it's the study of choices. And so these things are really connected one to the other because you make choices based on what you want and what you need. So there are some things that go into these choices, some considerations that you have to make every single time you make a choice. And that, in essence, is what economics is. There are two vocabulary words. The first one is scarcity. Scarcity means when there's not enough of something. Scarcity is at the bottom, at the base, the reason why we have to make choices. If there was enough of everything to go around for what everybody wants, then we wouldn't have to make choices because everybody would have everything they need. But when there's not enough of something to go around, things are scarce, then you have to make choices. You have to prioritize which things are more important to you, which ones you're willing to spend money on. And that leads to our economy and the way that we make choices throughout our entire lives. The second one is opportunity cost. Opportunity cost is what you give up to get something else. And that's going to lead us into another discussion in a second. So, real quick, if there is scarcity, then everyone blank have everything they want. Can they or can they not? So, opportunity cost is another one of the aspects of choices that has to do with scarcity. You only have a limited amount of resources. So let's say we only have $5. Opportunity cost is what we give up every time we get something. So when I spend that $5, I'm also giving up some other things. For example, if I go to McDonald's and I use my $5 to buy a Big Mac meal, then I'm giving up my ability to also use that $5 to buy the nugget meal. I could pick one or the other. But every time I pick one and I make that choice and I spend that $5, I'm giving up my ability to get the other one because I no longer have that $5. It's spent, it's used, it's gone. You could also think about this same concept with time. So you have choices every single day. You could wake up in the morning and come to school and use your time in school, learning, getting good grades, making sure that you're going to be able to go to college and get a good job in the future. Or you can use that resource, time, to do something else, such as play basketball in the park. That's me. But every time that you make that choice, one or the other, you're giving up the other thing. If you're in school, you're not using your time to play basketball and have fun with your friends. If you're playing basketball, you're giving up your time where you could be learning and getting yourself on a better track for a better job in the future. So every choice you make, whether it's money, whether it's time, whether it's what you say, everything has an opportunity cost, something you're giving up. So right now, stop, wait for your partner. And in each of these situations, I want you to think about what decision you would make, what you would gain by making that choice, and then think about what you give up when you make that choice as well. What is the opportunity cost of making the choice that you did? So for example, let's go do the first one. This one is pretty straightforward. So the question is, should you drop out of high school or not? You can make that decision to drop out, or you can make that decision to stay in school and use your time and energy doing that. What do you gain from one decision, and what do you give up when you make that decision? Answer the questions on your paper with your partner. Second one, should you get married or not? When you make the decision to get married, what do you gain? When you choose to make that decision, what are you giving up? What can you no longer do because you made that decision? Or vice versa, you could choose not to get married. What are you giving up when you choose not to get married? Answer the questions with your partner. Last one, should you go to college or not? What do you gain? What are you giving up? You could pick either side. Should you go? Should you not go? Last thing for today, pretend you have $100 and think about what you can buy with it. Remember that every time you make a decision to buy something, you're giving up your ability to buy something else. So when you make that list on your paper of what things you could buy or you would buy with $100, then on the side, tell me, what are you giving up by buying those things? What things can you no longer buy, or what things can you no longer do because you already spent your $100? So here's some examples of some things you could buy. Some new Nikes for $100. You can get your fake Gucci purse for $45 or a real Gucci purse for $200, so on and so forth. When you're finished, then go to your paper and complete the independent practice on the last page where it says independent work. Silently, independently, and wait for everybody else to be done. Thank you.